Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about solving equations. Now, in equation, we have something as follows. We have 2 times x plus 3 equals, 7. Let's go there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we need to talk about a couple things to begin with. First of all, if I have a 2 and an x, what is between the 2 and the x that's hidden that we don't see? It's a multiplication sign. Now, our whole goal of solving for x is to get x by itself. We want to get x by itself, which means we need to peel away everything else that's not x. So let's peel away the 3. Well, how do I get rid of a plus 3? Well, what we want to do is we want to undo it. So if I want to undo plus 3, what's the opposite of plus 3? Well, that's going to be minus 3. But if I do it to one side, I must do it to the other. So I end up with 2x equals, now 3 minus 3, those cancel, they go away, they're going to be 0. 7 minus 3 though is 4. 7 minus 3 is 4. So I have 2x equals 4. Now remember, it's 2 what x? 2 times x. How do I get rid of times? To get rid of times, I would divide. I'm going to divide both sides by 2. Now those go away because 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And there's our answer. Here's what I want you to do next. Let's do a practice problem. 3x minus 5 equals negative 11. Okay, now we have a few more negatives in this problem, but I think we can do it first. I want to know, what do you get rid of first? Do you get rid of the 3, the 5, or the 11? You get rid of the 5. Now, what do you do to get rid of the 5? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide? Well, you would add to get rid of the 5. But if I do it to one side, I must do it to the other side. Okay, so I have 3x equals negative 11 plus 5. I'm not entirely sure, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to my calculator, and I'm going to say negative 11 plus 5. All right, because I don't mind having to check my math on my calculator. I want to make sure I have my stuff right. So that's going to be negative 6. Now that makes sense because if I owe somebody 11, I add 5, that's going to be, I still owe 6. Now, with that I have 3x equals negative 6, so I divide both sides by 3. In this case, the 3's go away. X equals negative 2, because negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. So I have negative 6 divided by 3, negative 2. Negative divided by positive is a negative. Okay, so there we go. All right, I want you to do the next one. 4x minus 3 equals 17. That's example 1. And then I want you to do example 2. And that's going to be 7 equals negative 4 plus 2x. All right, give that a whirl. See what you get. Okay, let's see if we can do example number 1. What am I going to do to get rid of minus 3? Going to add 3. All right, 4x equals 20. Now what do I do next? Do I move the 20 or do I move the 4? I'm going to move the 4. How am I going to move the 4? I'm going to divide because it's connected by times. The opposite of times is divide. Divide by 4, x equals 5. There we go. Now, if I go over to this side, I have the reverse. Now, it doesn't matter that the x is on this side instead of the other side, even though it's been on the other side every other problem, because I still have to get x by itself. So I still need to get rid of something. So my question to you is, what do I get rid of first? The 7, the 4, or the 2? I'm going to move the 4. Now, because the 4 is negative, I need to add 4 to both sides. That's going to make 11 equals 2x. Now, do I move the 11 to the 2, or do I take that 2 and move it to the 11? Well, I'm going to need to move the 2 over with the 11 because I want x by itself. I have 2 times x, so I'm going to divide by 2. That gives me 11 halves, or 5 1/2, or 5.5. Okay, there we go. Let's do one more problem, and then that should take care of it. If I have 1/2 x minus 3 equals 4. 1/2 x minus 3 equals 4. What I'm going to do is I need to get x by itself, so I'm going to do what to both sides first? I'm going to add 3. Okay, so I have 1/2 x equals 7. Now, at this point, I need to get rid of a 1/2. To get rid of a fraction, it's time, so I'm going to divide by a fraction. The problem is I can't divide by a fraction. What I need to do is multiply by its reciprocal. So if I have 7 divided by 1/2, that's really 7 times 2 over 1. Now to multiply the fractions, I have 7 over 1 times 2 over 1. I get 14 over 1, or just plain old 14. Okay, so there you go. That is solving with variable on one side.